Actually, today we are talking about the performance for the past 12 months, ended 30th September 2022. In fact, we have had an amazing year. The results are quite amazing. Just to give you a snapshot, our revenues grew to about 92 billion Rwandese francs, which is about 37% improvement compared to the same period last year. Our net profit improved to about 13.2 billion, which is also quite a strong growth of more than 200% compared to the same period last year. And our earnings per share improved to 18.7, which is also very strong growth of about 220% compared to the same period. So in a nutshell, we have really done well, and as a result, we have a strong balance sheet with a net debt of just about 1 billion Rwandese franc, which really means the debt in our balance sheet is now very, very sustainable. We have a healthy cash position of about 20 billion Rwandese francs. And as a result of this, of course, we were able to, the board was able to recommend our dividend payment to be approved by the board. And all this is a result of the dedication of and the hard work of our staff, the board, and all the support of the various stakeholders around CIMERWA. In fact, it's a combination of factors. Yeah, on the first off is operational excellence, where we really worked on operational efficiencies at the plant, and also which is our production facility, and also on the route to market. And secondly, we looked at being efficient in the way we service our customers in the route to market, and management of various elements around that, including good management of pricing. And we were also able to really exploit the potential of our people. We have great people in the company, and we have strengthened the bench strength over the years. And part of the result you're seeing today is the outcome of that capability that is within the company. Beyond that, we also took certain steps. For example, we made an early repayment of a debt about 5 billion Rwandese franc, and because of that, we were able to reduce on our financing costs, the interest that we pay back to the banks. So it's really a combination of all that. And last but not least, I would like to mention that we could not do everything that I've just mentioned without a good business environment. So the good business environment, which is enabled by the government and all the stakeholders around us, have really helped us to exploit our potential and show this good result. So I have good news for you. In fact, the production challenges, we have made it a thing of the past. In fact, for your information, just between last year and this year, we made an improvement in production and sales of about more than 100,000 tons of cement. And in terms of utilization of our capacity, we've gone above 90%. So we are really running very efficiently. In fact, our eyes are set on going beyond the 600,000, exceeding the 600,000 in the coming few years. Yeah, so we are really very proud that we have been able to make the best of the assets that we have, but more importantly, we have been able to service the needs of the country, and have also been able to satisfy our customers and gone beyond that. In fact, we export to the neighboring countries, including DR Congo, Eastern DR Congo, and we are also starting to export to the markets that are opening up in Burundi, and this is good for us. Indeed, as you've said, we are coming off a very tough period, a period after COVID, when the money had been spent on COVID by many countries, including Rwanda, of course, and the economic environment was challenging. And in fact, on top of that, recently, as you know, we have had the Rwanda-Ukraine situation, which has also compounded things and made the cost of inputs, logistics, and so on to go up. But it's been very pleasing to see that in spite of that, we have had in Rwanda a relatively good and steady recovery. Of course, there's still work to do, and we hope things will get better globally. But the recovery has been good and steady. In fact, a lot of projections are showing GDP upwards of 7-8% going forward, and that really bodes well for the construction industry, because a GDP of that level has a strong correlation to the consumption of cement or the need for construction activity, because to grow a country, you need to build infrastructure. You need airports, you need roads, you need water treatment plants, you need power plants, you need various buildings of all sorts. And we are seeing that in Rwanda with the new Bugesera Airport, Amahoro Stadium, the Equity Bank Twin Towers downtown, the $100 million project, which has been announced recently. So this sort of recovery and this good sign, this healthy pipeline of major projects is really very good signs for us. It means that, even though we are still recovering from those global shocks, there is an anchor foundation of, healthy pipeline of major projects that will keep us going. And as CIMERWA, we are ready to service that and to make sure that we support the country. We are the leading player within Rwanda, and also within an important player within the Great Lakes region. Yeah, so we have other players, of course, locally, and we still have some players from other countries, but we are the number one leading, and we are very committed to maintain that position. Of course, the first off, we work to make sure that we are very efficient and we deliver a good operational efficiency, and also consolidate our position as leaders in the market, not only through volume, but by making sure that we offer to the customer the best service possible, and also the portfolio and range of products that really speaks to the challenges that they have, or that provides solution to the challenges that they have, because the market is becoming more sophisticated and the customers are becoming more and more demanding. So that is the first thing we are doing, and very important. And we also recognize that a great company is not just about a financial return, a good financial return. A great company is also a company that takes care of sustainability, making sure that it delivers good operational and financial return, but in a sustainable manner. And in this respect, as a company, we are really focused on showing leadership all round. I give you an example of one area that is really important to us, and it's the area of environmental social governance. And in this respect, we have developed a strategy as a company, which we've presented to the board, and and we are tracking and monitoring our progress around it. And the reason we came up with this strategy is because we really want to have our hand visible and our contribution visible, directly and indirectly, in terms of contributing to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So our ESG, or Environment Social Governance Strategy, is directly linked to the various ESGs, be they around climate, be they around poverty alleviation, circular economy, diversity, economic empowerment, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so this is one area that we are really, really very proud of, and have initiatives and strategies and pillars to drive that. Heavy manufacturing, by its very nature, is can have an impact in terms of emissions. In fact, worldwide, the cement industry is an important area that needs to be, that is required to look at its processes in order to mitigate the impact of the, process on climate. And in that respect, we are driving our actions through the environment, social governance strategy that I spoke to you about a minute ago. And to your question, I'll just give you some examples. For example, on the environment part, the E part of the ESG, we have an environment strategy. And we have also a second part, which is called the decarbonization strategy. And this second part is aimed at reducing the amount of carbon dioxide per ton of cement. Yeah, on the environment strategy, for example, we have several initiatives. One of them is planting trees around our facilities, and we target to plant 20,000 trees per annum. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, we planted about 2,500 trees. And we don't do it alone. In fact, we involve the community and other stakeholders in doing it. So that is just one example within the environmental strategy part. On the decarbonization strategy, we have a number of things that we are doing to reduce the CO2 in every ton of cement. One of them, for example, is substituting the use of coal with biomass. For example, palm kernels, rice husks, which is available around Bugarama, where our plant is, and also things like coffee husks, and so on and so forth. So the more we use biomass, the less we use of coal, and therefore, in our energy intensive process, we are able to emit less CO2. Those are just but a few examples. Another one is reducing something called clinker factor, which basically is a direct result of reducing the CO2 in every ton of cement. And there's a number of other innovative projects that are more at R&D phase that we should be rolling out over the coming few years that are aimed at reducing this drastically. Now, over the last 3 years, we have reduced the amount of CO2 in every ton of cement by more than 20%. So we expect to continue this trend, and in the long term, as a company, we are committed to seeing us, ultimately in the long term, get to net zero. It's not an easy journey, but we want to be bold enough to say that we can get there ultimately. Yep. So one of the things that we do in order to make sure that we have a sustainable business is to be diversified. To be diversified in terms of product portfolio, so that we are not just focused on one product. Be diversified in terms of regional mix, with priority given to the domestic market, that is Rwanda. So, like you rightly said, we have been exporting to Eastern Congo. But even, Eastern Congo is not one market. In fact, there's North Kivu, there's also South Kivu. So, and we sell to both. So that is also, a way to diversify. And like you've said, Burundi has recently opened up, and we've made, very active steps to make sure that we are present in that market. So what we do as a company is to, make our presence to be there in all these markets. But I must say that in spite of the challenges, global challenges, and also the regional tensions, cross-border tensions, these markets have generally been very resilient, and I think we are lucky for that. In spite of all the challenges that are there, we've seen business continuing, maybe not at the same levels, but even with that situation, we are managing to deliver the very good result. And I think the reason why this Great Lakes region is really, going up and developing in spite of all the issues is because we are at a very low base. Rwanda today consumes about just under 1 million tons of cement, and this is really still quite small compared to what it needs ultimately when it reaches, for it to achieve its vision that the country is driving very hard. Because it translates to about 70 kilograms per capita, and that is quite low. But we like to look at that level as an opportunity, because we need to double, triple, go 4 times, 5 times that in terms of consumption, and that is opportunity for our industry. So in spite of the challenges that are there, the need for Rwanda and the need for the surrounding countries is so high that we must remain steadfast and be ready to support the development of these nations. So our target is to make sure that we follow the growth of the market. For example, a GDP of around 8% means the cement demand will grow 10%, give or take. Yes, to keep it simple, if the market is 1 million, it means 1 million tons, it means next year it will be 1.1 million tons. So as a leading industry player, we want to make sure that as the market grows, we also grow our capacity, so that our portion of support or supply to that market is met capably. So we have initiatives and projects to grow our capacity over the next in the short term, medium term, and long term, organically and through other ways. And the idea being to ensure that CIMERWA consolidates its position as a market leader going forward. In the last 2 years, we've done a lot in terms of the offering that CIMERWA is giving to the market. We have moved from just selling a commodity to selling cement that is application based. What I mean here is that we are giving a product that is fit for purpose. For example, Sure Wall is good for plastering and joining of bricks or brick joinery. Sure Sem for multi-purpose use. Sure Build for more high strength, more complex applications, mainly by big projects. So we've transitioned to that, and this is a kind of a product diversification and innovation, and we are also so they can expect more of that, more of really us being close to them, not only to provide the right product but to provide the right service by having people that are qualified. For example, we have engineers in our teams, so our sales teams that are capable to engage big construction companies. So they can expect us to offer more of that, to have capable teams, to have a good product portfolio, but also the way we service them. Today we are able to give the products in bags. We can also give in bulk trucks. We can give them in 1.5 ton jumbo bag. We can give in a 500 kilo bag. So really, they can expect us to do more of that, of being close to them, so that we can understand their challenges and give them solutions. They can also expect innovation, because we are moving more and more to digital, in terms of the ordering process and so on and so forth. Yeah. So there's a lot that we have been privileged to give to our customers, but I would like to tell them that there's more to come, and we appreciate their support. We do have Sure Road, actually. It is there, but we give it to, you don't see it in the market, because we tend to give it to contractors, that is made specially for road construction. So that is also in place. It's one of our product range. So in the coming year, we expect CIMERWA to remain steadfast and deliver equally strong results operationally and financially. And we are also very optimistic because of the projections around the country. As we indicated earlier on, the GDP projections from different analysts, they are looking really promising for Rwanda, in spite of where we are coming from. So we are ready to ride on the back of that to deliver a super result going forward. Yeah, thank you. I think for me, as we conclude, I just want to say Urakoze Shani to our customers, I want to say a big thank you to our stakeholders that have supported us. I want to say a big thank you to the CIMERWA board and also to the CIMERWA staff. All of you have really made it possible to deliver the results. And to the investors in the stock exchange, I would like to ask that you continue investing, and for those of us who have not invested in CIMERWA, this is the right moment. We have just declared, the board has proposed a dividend payment of 10.5 billion Rwandese francs, which is about earnings per share of about 18.7, which is a very good return. So I would like to encourage all the retail investors and other institutional investors to please come on board and invest in CIMERWA. Murakoze cyane.